Hello, good evening. When we talk about team is a framework of any successful organization. Any organization that is aiming for the top must have a team. And this team are so strong in such a way that nobody is the weakest among the team. I often define a team as a set of individuals that are strong because of the effort of each other. That nobody is weak, nobody is strong. That is a kind of complementary effort of a group of people that is targeted to solving a problem, or that is targeted to making sure that the goal and objective of an organization is met. And no matter where you find yourself in the team, you are significant, you are very significant. And this team are led by intentional leaders, not just managers. I know we have managers everywhere in our organization, but a manager, even a good manager, cannot form a team. A good manager cannot form a team, because what they tend to do is to manage resources. Managers are not for humans. You can't manage a human. Human beings are wide. Like, you can only lead a human being. That's why whenever you try to manage a human being will always revoke or want to fight you, because humans are not meant to be managed. Humans are meant to be led. It's okay, because the person you think you want to manage have the same subconsciousness you have the same IQ you have. Just that he's not in a position, just that he has not discovered or developed some part of the IQ you are using, doesn't make him to be less important. That is why in building a team, it's very important, or in building an organization, you must consider everyone in the team to be valuable. Most managers think because of skin color, ethnicity, age, the least person in the team doesn't have a say. I've been in a board meeting where, because of the rank or the skin color or the age, they tend to deprive some persons in the team not to air out their view, whereas these guys are the people who have the solution to what is happening, to the problem. No, because they don't have beards or they don't have gray hair yet, even though they are part of the team, they tend to be neglected. And that is the beginning of a downfall of any organization. Whenever a member of a team is seen insignificant, that is why I started by saying that you must first of all trust your team, and you must be able to make sure that you leave your team unsupervised. Not every time you must supervise your team, because if you're always supervising your team, your organization doesn't have a future. It doesn't have a future. Let me say that. If you must always be there, always, that means when you die, the organization will fold up. That's why when I see some person so authoritative, so aggressive in making sure that everything works, thinking that they are the alpha omega of the organization, it baffles me, because they don't know what they are doing. I can quote Sam Adeyemi. I remember some years back during the COVID, Sam Adeyemi intentionally traveled, left Nigeria for years. I think about 2 years, there about 2 or 3 years. And when he came back, they asked him why. He said he want to test his leadership ability. He left Nigeria, the organization he started for years, decades plus. He left it in the hands of people. And when he came back, he said he just wanted to know if he was truly a leader. What he did then, for the few years he was around, he was able to build a team that he could trust with his resources, with everything. Because you see, an organization is start from what? From ideas. From the ideas, you now talk about resources. That means he for years he brought up ideas, resources, human capitals, and financial capitals, and all the capitals is assembled, and he left this thing for into the hands of people that He never knew that well, although they were his team people. But one of the things I know he did was he trusted these people. He has poured himself onto them, and he could live for years. And when he came back, he the organization was still standing. Daystar was still standing. That is why what I read or study or gained from what he said was that it was all about the kind of a team he was able to make in his present. Yeah. And in his present, he could delegate. He say, oh, you have to do this one, you have to do some persons. When they are there, they want to do everything. No, that means you don't trust your team. When you trust your team, you should leave your team, allow them to make mistake. Another one is that if you must have a team, allow your team to make mistake so that they can be corrected. Because until he or she makes a mistake, you will not know that he doesn't know that part. But whenever you feel he knows it, or you feel he will spoil it, that means you are ready for to pack your business when you are not there. That is why another thing you do to build up a team is to train your team members to your expectations. Every organization has an expectation. Every organization have a goal. And if your goal is so precious to you, one of the things you need to do as as a CEO or a leader, you must learn how to train your team. We talked about trust. We talked about a responsibility, that you must give your team a responsibility. You must trust them, and you must trust them with responsibilities that are so vital, and you must correct them when need be, and you must train them. So essential. Some persons don't train their leader. They feel it's okay if I train them. When they go, they are going with my knowledge. It's very, very funny. It's very, very funny. Not knowing that the person is staying with you at that time, the person is delivering service, and what matters is what the person is doing at the time. And they feel, if I train, I remember I was in an organization, they said the manager would say, it's okay if we train these guys and they leave here, should we ask them to pay for the training? It was so funny. I was there. I do not have to say anything. It was funny.